Okay, you are live. Good morning, Facebook family. What is up with this technology this morning? I am really not hearing myself at all. At all, at all, at all, at all. So let's see if I'm going to do a little change up and see what happens. Turn this off. Okay, let's see what's going on. I don't think Facebook liked me this morning. No, that's not it. Mhm. Okay, Martin, can you hear me? You hear me now? Okay, so let's try this. Okay, Martin, can you hear me? You hear me now? Okay, so let's try this. Okay, Martin, can you hear me? You hear me now? Okay, so let's try this. Okay, Martin, can you hear me? You hear me now? Okay, Martin, are we there? Are you hearing me now? Auntie, Sister Yolene, are you hearing me? I'm hearing you now. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So now I have to figure out what's going on. Oh no, you're still not hearing me. I just sent you a new link, Matthias. Could you open that link I just sent you? I just sent you a new link. I hope that he gets that link so we could start this. Okay. Anyone else? Martin, let me know if you're still hearing me. You say you're hearing me now. I see it 3 times. I need a number 4 if you're still hearing me. And I want this to go start all over again. I'm telling you, this technology that we have, sometimes we have to be patient with it and still get frustrated, but yet be patient with it. Okay, good morning, Victor. Are you hearing me? Okay, let's add Matthias. Good morning, Matthias. Are you hearing me?
Morning. I'm hearing you now.
Blessings. I am so glad.
I'm hearing you now.
I am so glad. I'm so glad. I do hope that people remember what I said about getting to know me because Christmas is coming, my birthday is coming. John Gershman is my all-time favorite author. I have 3, but John Gershman is my favorite author. So let's put that now behind us to bed and welcome Matthias Williams. Thank you again for joining me. As I said in the beginning, one that two recordings ago, I met you months ago on Facebook. And I feel like I know you in person and I feel like I've known you for years. So it's just a blessing to have you here with me. It is. So to say, you know what? Yes, I have Mr. Matthias Williams. When I pronounce his name first, I have to acknowledge this. I said it wrong. I didn't put the th together, so it's
Yeah,
Matthias.
Matthias.
Matthias, yes, Matthias. So I want to take a time now to just read a little bit about Mr. Matthias Williams. Being born in Grenada is a beautiful thing. I must admit, it's a beautiful thing. Matthias Williams is a Caribbean musician with the tenor saxophone being his instrument of choice. The Spice Island of Grenada is his home. Is his home. I love that. Is his home, but his roots is from Saint Vincent, so he's Vincentian. But he
Oh, I'm
claimed Grenada.
Grenadian.
So,
Well, you probably the same both.
Matthias calls himself both a musician and an educator. He holds degrees in education from University of Winston, Chancellor Hall, Jamaica, and University of West Florida. He also holds a music performance degree from the University of West Florida. Matthias grew up in the island of Grenada with roots in the Caribbean gospel music. He has been the band leader with the Grenadian gospel band Jade and also the producer of Grenadian events Gospel, Splash Gospel Expression, and also the producer of Smooth Jazz event rhythms and summer spice. Matthias has recorded Caribbean gospel music with Jade Gospel Band, but his three singles, Share My Love, Back to You, and the Reggae Lounge. I love the Reggae Lounge. I love the Reggae Lounge. In 2022, and his debut work as a Caribbean smooth jazz saxophonist. The 2022 launch of his three tracks, Matthias hopes, is the beginning of the new and wonderful things to come. He positively looks forward to this new chapter as a recording solo saxophonist from the Isle of Spice, which is known as Grenada, the Isle of Spice, where everything is nice. So, welcome again, Matthias, and thank you again for being here.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. Thanks. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here. We've been talking about it, and it's now happening. And we had some trouble this morning, but it's good.
Yes.
It's good to be here.
It's very good. It's very good. So let me get into my questions for you because, as I said, the way you held your saxophone in your pictures, you could see the connection. It's like there was no end. It was always you and that sax. So when did you first touch a sax?
No, that's not a very straightforward story, all right? Because I think the saxophone is the first instrument that called me, but it was not the first instrument I played.
Okay.
And I have not been playing music from a very young age. I really started dabbling in music in high school. And then the saxophone still wasn't my first instrument. In high school, the high school gave us an opportunity to learn instruments, and there were enough saxophonists. They said my arms were long, so I should try the trombone. So the trombone has this long slide, and so my first instrument was a trombone. And I picked that up in high school. But somewhere in high school, though, I got a chance to put my hands on a saxophone and just taught myself how to get a song from it. Okay. And so I taught myself the saxophone there, and I never really took it seriously because I went into the trombone and then I went into the keyboard. So I did all my work as a keyboardist with the gospel bands that I played in. And then it's only when I went off to do my master's in education at the University of West Florida that I met someone in Denver. It's a long story. And he asked me if I wanted to play the saxophone professionally. And I struggled with answering him. And then eventually he explained to me what he meant by professionally. And I said, okay, let's go. But I was studying education. So I had this struggle in my mind. How would I be able to learn the saxophone professionally when I'm here trying to pursue a degree in education, a master's in education? But he explained to me what he meant by professionally, that he meant that I would be able to play it at a certain level of proficiency.
Okay.
You know? So I said, yeah. Once he explained that to me and that I didn't have to drop my education studies and whatever, he explained that to me. I was like, okay, let's do it. So I say that was about 2000. So I tell people I'm really playing the saxophone from about 2000. His name was Homer. He was this old saxophonist, and he has since passed on. But Homer taught me how to practice the saxophone. So that's where the saxophone journey really, really began from that point. Although I kind of figured out some things on it before, that's where it started. It really didn't start when I was 5 years old or 6 years old. I wish, but it started when I was in my master's in education.
The year 2000, where everybody thought the millennium winner, because yesterday we even talked about my friend, the year 2000 have so much to hold on to.
It makes it easy for me to remember when I really started paying attention to the saxophone.
Really easy. Yes. Do you write your own songs?
Yes, I write my own songs, and the 3 songs that I launched just this summer are all original pieces, all written by myself and produced with some musician friends of mine. So yes, and I've been doing that for quite a while. Growing up,
Okay.
I started, as my bio said, I started in gospel music, so I wrote
Mm-hmm.
quite a bit. I had notebooks with gospel songs,
Mm-hmm.
and I still write that genre, So yeah,
Okay.
I've been writing my songs for quite a while, and I still do.
Everybody has, I'm going to say this, and I might get backlash for it to say everybody has a muse, and I'm going to say it, everybody has a muse. Everybody has something that draws them in. Everybody has something that, they're passionate about. So with you, what gives you that push to write a song?
But that's easy for me to answer. Now, as you asking it, I was kind of thinking, what is my muse? My muse is life.
Yes.
Life, and living is what inspires me to write. When
Mm-hmm.
I write from experiences. They may come from the weirdest of places, but so I would be, just somewhere, and someone says a line, and I was like, that's really something. And
Yeah.
so it comes either in lyrics, in lines, or they come in tunes, like
Okay.
melodies. You hear a melody, and for me, I have to capture that moment right away. So I might take my
Mm-hmm.
phone and just record that melody. Or if I like the lines that I'm thinking, I may just jot down those lines, type those lines at the same moment. And
Mm-hmm.
so if
Mm-hmm.
if it may develop into a song right there and then, and I may get like 80-90% of it done, or I may
Mm-hmm.
just get 20% of it down, and take a note of it, and I will come back to it later. So to answer that question, life, man, just
Like,
life and living, and listening to life
mm-hmm.
just inspires you and gives you these ideas, because life is music.
I know. I know. I want to go on ask another question when once talking about writing your own song. Have you thought of writing song for somebody else to sing your song?
I have no problems with that. I've done that before.
Yeah.
And like, for example, I wrote one song on my just for the summer they called Back to You. I couldn't
Hmm.
do justice to singing it. Although a
Yes.
friend said, so I would get someone that can tell the story, someone that can express the story.
Mm.
And I have no problems with collaborating. I love collaborating because
Yeah.
everyone is different. So to
Yes.
me, collaborating with another person just gives you new ideas, fresh ideas, gives you a chance to interpret things in ways that you probably would have never done.
Yes.
So I think that should be one of the strengths of life, collaborating with each other. So yeah, I'd write one for you if you want.
Yeah. I will get you on that one. Um, with this one, right? You might have talked about it already, but you might want to elaborate more on it. When we're talking about you doing, like, how can I word it? I want to make sure I word it right. A selection, because of your three that I listened to, I love the Reggae Lounge. I don't know if because
Mhm,
I'm into that. So in your selection that you have made already,
mhm.
do you have one that you say, yes, I want to push onto that one? This is it for me.
No, I can't say yes that I have a favorite. I can't say I can't. No, I can't. And I was
Yeah,
thinking about it myself as to
yeah.
whether which one calls me the most. No, it's just because life is so dynamic. I guess sometimes when you're playing one, it just feels like it's the right song for that moment.
Yes.
Then when you're in another situation, you figure, well, this is the right song for that moment.
Okay.
And I also do not have a favorite song that I can say this is my all-time favorite song. It's
Hmm.
like I pick up a song and sometimes you're playing every time we say goodbye, and that song just feels so right now.
Yes.
And then sometime previous to that, a couple months ago, maybe over the rainbow probably felt like the song you really wanted to play in that
Hmm.
moment.
Hmm.
So that changes as to what song really calls you for the moment.
Okay.
For me, that changes.
Okay. Okay. In your bio, we talked about teaching.
Hmm.
Are you teaching? Are you?
Yeah, I guess I will always be an educator, because even if it means like I have some youngsters that come over and we just started working on some music together. I have a music class this afternoon with some youngsters at a school, a private school just down the road. So I kind of believe that we should all try to regenerate ourselves. We should all try to pass on information that we know, and that the next generation should be better than we are. I have a brother
Of
who said
course.
that. who said that, and I've never forgotten that. So whether it be an education for me is not just a formal setting where you go to a school and you get a certificate. If you
Mhm.
just come and you hang out with me and I just show you some things, some fundamentals, read music, that's education. If we're discussing different approaches or different styles to music or whatever, and you learning and I'm learning, that's education. So it can be formal, it can be informal, it can be non-formal. So I'm into educator. I'm into education as a formally.
Mhm.
I teach at the community college here in Grenada. I lecture in the teacher education department. So I
Okay.
teach formally, but um, even if I eventually resign from that, I'll be always sharing, because that's what I think life should be about, just sharing and helping others,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
so I guess I'll always be an educator in that sense.
Okay. So can I see your sax?
Well,
Is
my
it
sax
close?
is right here. My sax is right here. Um, my saxophone is right
Look at
here.
that. Look at that. Look at that.
This, yeah.
What do you clean it? What do you clean it with?
This one just has just a cloth, nice soft cloth that I use just to wipe it down. But this one
Mhm.
is new. This one I got this one over the summer. There's one I have back there. I call her M&M. That's the one I've been through a lot of journeys with. For
M&M.
like
So what does M&M mean?
well, the person that helped me got a saxophone at that point. Her name is Mickey, and her last name is Maroon. She was
Oh,
the person
okay.
who introduced me while I was in school. She was the person who introduced me to my saxophone teacher too. And
Okay.
and to remember that journey and where all of that started, I just called her Eminem,
Okay. And this one
So
has a name yet?
no, I'm not sure if I think it's female, but she has not been christened yet. She has not been she, she has not been christened yet. So yeah, so
So
for
so
now.
so you bringing stuff up now. What you mean? So how can we christen her? I mean, what
I
do we
don't
have to do?
it has to I don't like just imposing. To me, things have to evolve. It's like,
Impromptu. Yeah. So
yeah,
yes.
it has to come. It's like, you know what?
Yes.
I call you that. Like that's how the first name came. It's like, what? Her name is Eminem.
Yes.
Because Mickey and her family was a special family to me, and because of Mickey, I got to meet Homer. Because of
Okay.
Homer, I'm playing the saxophone the way I'm playing now. And it's like, I met other saxophone teachers when I went back to school to do music and so on. Yeah. Mr. Spivey was an influential person in my life. He was a teacher with me for like 3 years.
Hmm.
Sandy Spivey. He still lives in Pensacola, Florida.
Okay.
But something from life has to come up and figure. You know what? That's your name. So for now, she's just a saxophone, and we're working on bonding.
I'm bucket. I'm bonding. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
just the music. Have you used your music to help anyone?
Uh, Let me just give you a story, right?
Yes.
I just give you one example because I think that any career that you're in, any career that you're in, my philosophy is that it should be used to help people.
Yes.
My theory is that every career that was started was born to help people. We needed security. We needed someone to guard, so we came up with guards and soldiers and the police to
Hmm.
protect the people. We
Yes.
needed someone to take care of the legal affairs of people, so we got lawyers to help the people. We need someone to take care of the health of persons. So we can so music. If I'm playing music, I see that my role as a musician should be to help persons, to reach the person. So let me just give you one story because I know there are a lot of stories like that.
Yes.
I
Hmm.
was playing in Karaku, which is one of our small islands, last summer, I think it was. Well, summer of last year. And so I was playing at this restaurant, and this lady was trying to find, she couldn't, where the saxophone music was. So she
Hmm.
found me, and then she came up to me and says, "Were you playing in Karaku in 2020?" So I was playing there last year in 2021. She says, "Were you up here in 2020, summer 2020, playing the saxophone?" And I told her yes.
Mm-hmm.
She told me the time, and I told her yes. She says, um, that was a very difficult point in her life. She had just lost her partner of how many years. She lives on a yacht, so she was on the boat, and she heard the saxophone music, and
Mm-hmm.
she says the saxophone music helped her through that period in her life.
Nice.
No, I am just meeting her. I just met her like a year later. And so she came and she was just sat there and she was just drinking and she was at a gig. She was just fixed on the music and drinking the music. And after I stopped playing, she told me the story of what happened the year before. And she just
Mm-hmm.
kept hugging me and kept hugging me and kept hugging me several times before she left because of what the music did for her
Did for
a
her.
year
Yes.
ago when she was struggling, in her life. And so that was just one story, but
Yes.
I know it. I know it because I believe in using my music to reach someone, to help
Yes.
someone, to touch someone, to make someone's day better, to make someone's
Mm-hmm.
life better.
Yes.
And I don't know how it helps someone to heal or how it helps. So I think as musicians, we all have a responsibility
Yes.
to use, and I think music should be used for good. There are two forces
Yes.
in the world, and I choose to use my music for good, for healing, for
Yes.
positivity,
Yes. Yes.
So that's what it's about.
Okay. Okay. I hear just a little
You
tone.
need to hear. So,
Just a little.
okay,
Just a
so
little.
I have this thing with ballads. I have this thing
Yes.
with ballads. I love all forms of music, but there's something about a gentler or soft ballad, and this
Yes.
one here, this one here is one of my favorite ballads.
Okay.
So let me play a little bit in it.
Yes. Yes. Mm. Wow. All I needed was a recliner. That was that was beautiful. Just
Thank you, thank you,
that.
thank you,
Yeah. That
thank
was
you. Over the rainbow.
that was beautiful. Oh my gosh. That was beautiful. Okay. So before we close, let's
Hmm.
go to a question that was posed by a very dear friend of mine, Mr. Francis
Hmm.
Pierre. He says, "What do you think of teaching music in school in Grenada and CARICOM countries?"
Hmm. Well, I'm actually currently waiting on a meeting with the new Minister of Education. For my part, my philosophy is that we should get about five. We have districts, school districts. We should get a music teacher for each district and begin teaching music in the primary schools using a recorder, so that the students from the primary schools, they have the fundamentals of music. and a
Yes.
recorder is a very, very, very reasonable instrument for our dollar, which should probably you get one for about 20 EC,
Mhm.
Eastern Caribbean dollars.
Yes.
So for my part, I would teach music in all the schools, but start
Yes.
with the primary schools. If we can't get it, at least start with the primary schools.
Start with the
So by
primary
the
school.
time we
Yes.
get, yeah, well, elementary schools, as you guys would call it.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so
Yes.
that would be my take on it. That music should be in the elementary schools.
Start. Yes. Start. Yes.
Start there. Give them the fundamentals.
Mhm.
The recorder is a legit instrument. So I've been trying. I'm waiting on our audience with the minister actually, so we could
Yes.
address things things relative to education.
Yes.
On the island. So I'm hoping that eventually we get to that point where, because music is not, it's really not taught formally, in many of the schools. The little
Mhm.
pockets here. Um, yeah. I
Okay,
think
Mr. Pierre.
he's also asking if we would encourage Jab Jab to teach their children to blow the shell. Yeah, I would, yeah, I would say, because the same techniques that you use for blowing up the shell is the same technique you use to blow a trumpet, same
Yes.
technique you use to blow a trombone. Um, but there are limited pitches you can get. There are limited pitches you can get with the shell. But life is about learning and fun, and you can get
And
tones with it. So yeah, and I've heard person
yes.
get different pitches with the shell, conch shell as we
Mhm.
call it.
Yes.
So yeah, yeah. Yes, it could be done for fun. As a matter of fact, that too could be started in the elementary school. At the elementary
Yes.
level, you can have the children making homemade instruments,
Yes.
from whether it be cans, milk cans, and
Mm-hmm.
seeds from plants, and
Mm-hmm.
you can have them make
Yes.
homemade instrument drums, and the shell can be one of them. So
Yes.
they can learn fundamentals of music, they can learn
Mm-hmm.
rhythms, they can learn pitch using homemade
Yes.
instrument, and the
Yes.
shell can be one of them.
Definitely.
And then they go on further now, and they learn the piano, they learn the saxophone, they learn, but the fundamentals can be taught with homemade instruments,
With homemade
including
instrument.
the conch shell, as we
The
say.
conch shell. Yes. Okay, Mr. Martin Charles says, I hope the young people in Grenada are listening to this message because it's important. Because, like I said, this is why I do this,
Mhm.
to share. So, if one person hears it today and they said, you know what, let's go listen to that program here with Matthias Matthews Williams. I would say Matthias. I knew a Matthias Matthews. That's why I keep saying that.
Okay, okay, okay.
So it's
Yeah.
Matthias Williams.
Williams, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is my trusted brother. Hi, Hermania. You're looking different. Yes, I'll explain that at the end of the show why I look different. And the next one is well said. We need these people home to teach the children music. So kudos to you. Kudos to you that
Yeah, yeah.
that
There's a
you are
lot more
that.
work to be done. There's a lot more work to be done, not just in music education, but I think the entire education needs an overhaul. The education
Yes.
system. I don't think we're doing justice to our young people with the model of education that we have now. We could
Hmm.
we could achieve a lot more of the potential and develop a lot more of the potential of our young people
Yes,
if we adjust, if we could kind of beef up the model of education that we have. And
that's
that's
right.
what I'm hoping to chat with our minister about. We could do a lot
Uh-huh.
better, even with the resources that we have. Yes, we know we are an
Yes,
island. We know we have limited resources. We know all of that. But
but we
even
could.
with the resources that we have and the people that we have,
Yeah.
we can do better.
We
We
can
can
work.
do.
You can work. You can work with what you have. You can.
Mhm,
How we
mhm.
say back say, make do what it do. We could make do what it do. We could make do what it do.
Yeah, yeah.
Miss If Esther's, thank you for being watching because you and I have to get together one day, and I hope that's gonna be soon. My sister Nicole, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. So that was okay. And look, oh, this was one of my. I tell you, God is good. God is good. I just got to say, God is good for bringing good people in my life. Good people. Stanky Gay. I thank you. I thank you. God is good. So, in closing, what do you have to say?
Well, first I must say it was a pleasure that life brought us together, and it's a pleasure to
Yes.
be here and to sharing this with you, and getting to know you because we've just known each other a couple months now. But like you said, if you felt like I've known you like for years, for decades, you know.
Yes.
So it was a pleasure to be part of this and to be part of this experience.
Yes.
And I just want to encourage everyone listening, you know, and everyone following to keep sharing the love, keep sharing the positive, you know.
Yes.
Um, the more we can the more we can highlight and accentuate and share the positives, the more we can squeeze out the negatives, you know. So
That's it.
you
Yes.
know,
Yes.
let's just see how much love we can keep pouring into this world of ours, you know, so we can
Yes.
squeeze out the negative things like the hate and the
Yes.
greed and the
Yes.
selfishness and those kind of
Yes.
thing. You know, let's keep
Yes.
pumping out as much love as possible.
Yes. Yes. So thank you. Thank you. And that music rendition was awesome. I like I
Thank
said,
you.
all I needed was a launch chair. So thank you so much. Thank you. And the backup we had in the beginning, look, we finished strong. We finished strong.
Yeah,
Patience,
yeah,
patience.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So you have a
yeah.
good day.
Thanks, and you have a good day. Thanks for having me. See you sometime
Yes.
soon.
Yes, we'll see you soon. Yes. Okay,
Okay.
bye. All right, Facebook family. Well, this is what I'm going to say now. Most times in the big world, when they have the credits running, they say, well, okay, who did the makeup and who did the wardrobe and who did the hair? Well, okay, so here I am. Makeup was done by moi because, as you know, and I'm going to say it, somebody tell me don't say that, but I'm going to say it. All I wear is a little bit of lipstick and moisturizer, and I go on my busy way. The hair was done by a lovely person I met 2 days ago. I met her and then I made the appointment right there. So this is Simone. This is hereby Simone. So my brother noted that I look different. So of course, so the hair was done by Simone. So I want to thank her for making me look different, but better, happier, joyful Hermie. And again, Matthias was wonderful. He was patient, I'm telling you, because we did three before we actually did the show. So thank you again, Matthias. Thank you again. Thank you again. Facebook family, you as always, I want to thank you very much for allowing me in your home for half an hour. And like I says, the half an hour was all because of the one above for the half an hour. Next week, I am praying that I will have my Gary George to blow us out of the water, and I know how he is, and I know he's going to bring it hot. So, you have an awesome Wednesday, and I'll see you. Peace.